with the settings on Tristan's machine. Slow him down a little bit. He got another button over here. Welcome to another episode of Digging with Seven. You know, a couple of weeks ago, a young man here in Southern Kentucky got a hold of me, and he'd been doing some research, and he said, I think I found a Colonial house site. So we hooked up, we got together, we went out in the middle of nowhere. Man, did he ever find a site. There are all kinds of Colonial flat buttons and other relics here, so hope you enjoy this week's video. Down in Kentucky, and this is a tobacco field right here. Bunch of, well, there's Tristan right there. He's got a signal. I'm gonna look at it in a minute, but there's a bunch of foundation stones that's been cut through. We just got here, and he found this site, researched it. I've got a cuff button here, which is always a good sign. I'd rather find a button as anything, but he's got something over here that, if I can get the camera to focus, there it is. That looks handmade, the way it's hand wrought there. We don't know if that might have been a key or something, because it kind of looks it, but it's impossible to tell on a lot of these. But interesting find nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
Shank is broke off of it. It's a little bit concave on the back there. Looked like it had decoration. I don't know. I'll have to probably get that home and clean it up. We'll see. Got another button. He's in a hot spot right over here. Yeah, go ahead and pull him out there. Oh, it's got a shank.
Some sort of back mark. Look at that.
Never gets old. Never gets old. And them ring up just about like a nickel will.
Absolutely.
River's down there in the bottom. I'm not going to tell you which river or where we're at. I've got another flat button right here. Nice little specimen with a stand-up shank on it. Very cool. Tristan said he's got something over here. I'm going to go over here and see what he's got. I hope it's another button. I hope we got back into them here. Oh man. That's like a coat button. That's really not a dandy. A dandy's bigger than that. But that doesn't matter. That's an old button too, because it doesn't have a back mark. At least we got back on the buttons, didn't we?
That's right.
That's what
Finally.
we wanted. All right, he's using the AT Pro. Can't hardly beat that machine, I tell you. Now, those of you that know me, you know I'm in hog heaven right now whenever I'm finding buttons. Now, this one here is old. That is a lead button. You can tell where the shank used to be. It's broke off. It's a cuff button. Heavy. Great find. Got something here I'll almost guarantee you that none of you have ever found, and most of you don't know what it is. It's hollow there. You put that on a probably a 3/4 by 3/4 wooden stick that is about 5 foot long. Put that on the top. Take your tobacco, cut it, put the point on the stalk. It's called a tobacco spike. That's how you put it on the tobacco sticks, and then hang it up in the barn. This tobacco spike that I found is used to spike the mature tobacco stalks onto a wooden stick so it can be hung in a barn to dry and cure. Tools for harvesting mature tobacco included a metal spike, a cutting knife, and a wooden stick. Tobacco was first discovered by the native people of North and South America and had already long been used in the Americas by the time European settlers arrived. Eastern Native American tribes historically carried tobacco in pouches as a trade item, as well as smoking it in pipe ceremonies, whether for sacred ceremonies or those to seal a treaty or agreement. Tobacco was considered a gift from the Creator, and tobacco smoke was seen as carrying one's thoughts and prayers to the spirits. Following the arrival of Europeans, tobacco became one of the primary economic products of colonial America and became the driving factor in the incorporation of African slave labor. The Spanish introduced tobacco to the Europeans in about 1528. Burley tobacco, which is grown in our area, is a light air-cured tobacco used primarily for cigarette production. In the United States, approximately 70% is produced in Kentucky, 20% in Tennessee, and smaller amounts produced in Indiana, North Carolina, Missouri, Ohio, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. The origin of white burley tobacco was credited to George Webb and Joseph Four in 1864, who grew it on the farm of Captain Frederick Contz of Higginsport, Ohio, from seed from Bracken County, Kentucky. By 1866, he harvested 20,000 pounds of burley tobacco and sold it in 1867 at the St. Louis Fair for $58 per 100 pounds. And you might not know that when Christopher Columbus first landed in the New World, the Native Americans considered he might be divine and offered their most treasured gifts. Columbus wrote in his journal the natives brought fruit, wooden spears, and certain dried leaves which gave off a distinct fragrance. It was the first time any European had seen tobacco.
And it's a pretty good ways from the house out, ain't it? Down in this little spot here. Tristan said he's got another button. Little scratchy one.
Yep.
It's a little tough, ain't it?
It is.
Go ahead and pick him up.
Let's see.
Still got a shank.
Yep, bent over.
Bent over. You can take it too. Good enough, I tell you. Never gets old. Tristan is chasing the target right there. Here's something. I'm going to show you this first. You see that blue pottery? This was really shallow. And I was hoping that there would be one of these. But that is a tomback button. Still got a shank on it. That's a great find. I don't have to mess with the settings on Tristan's machine. Slow him down a little bit. He got another button over here.
There's still angry.
Let's say it's pretty scratchy.
Yeah, very scratchy.
You can see it right there. The shank on it. I tell you what, I say it every time, but it never gets old. Finding flat buttons.
Nope.
Sweet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And we're going to be back here again next week because there's more relics to be found at this old place. So join us again next Tuesday. And also want to remind you that Tennessee Jeff and I have a podcast every Thursday night on Spreaker.com. It's called Relics Radio. It's on at 8 o'clock Eastern. And also we are syndicated now by the Good Talk Radio Network. So catch us every Sunday on Good Talk Radio at 4 p.m. Eastern. See you next Tuesday on YouTube. See you Thursday on Relics Radio. And we'll see you Sunday afternoon on the syndicated version of that show.